With Shadowgrapher, Warframe has launched the Follie's Hunt game mode. In its present state, it is, in a word, frustrating. D have already made 2 statements addressing the initial community reaction to this mission, which I've put on screen for you. Still, the mission exists as a source of folly and more. Even with the announced changes, how do you defeat this? I'm TheKengineer, let's solve a practical problem. Accessing Follie's Hunt requires completion of the Chains of Harrow quest. However, an upgraded operator will be a significant help here. You might go into the mission thinking that killing enemies is going to be a core part of your experience. While you can kill them, and while they do occasionally drop a resource or give a guiding hint, these are both distractions. There are many ways to approach challenges of this mission, but combat is not the method I would suggest. Instead, let's start in the build screen for defenses. Shield regen delay and rolling guard are high value here. By utilizing that, you can rapidly recover from brief attacks to be able to weather the next one. Mobility optional 2 on your frame for navigating tight spaces can also help, such as Kalervo's Raffle Advance as a subsumed teleport. This, incidentally, can also boost your melee crits, should you be forced into retaliating. I find this works rather well with Influence Glaives as a panic button. Alternatively, Wukong's Cloudwalker is a solid mobility option. On top of shield recharge, I recommend Knockdown Immunity. Long-time players have access to Prime Sure-Footed, but newer players can still combine the normal Sure-Footed with Fortitude for the same effect on all frames. As you're not building for casting stats, you can certainly spare the mod space. Otherwise, abilities which block status effects can work too. To be clear on the difficulty and modding for it, I've run this mission multiple times over with nothing but a shield regen delay and rolling guard modded Nyx. No abilities, no kills, steel path. When you get the hang of the map and its challenges, you can get away with more. On the operator, which is your primary means of getting paint to canvas, survival is key. Dodge rolls or dodge slides are basically the core option for getting around, though you can build for sprint speed if you'd prefer to jog instead. Void Sling is completely out while carrying paint, so modding for it is pointless. Vazarin is a particularly useful school for this as it provides multiple functions. You can heal your operator and frame, you can instantly revive allies if you're in a squad, and you can crowd control enemies with your second ability. Bundling up the inky shadow creatures gives you the breathing room to handle the pressure from Follie. Alternatively, Anira provides both knockdown immunity if you lack it, and it protects against slowing effects for a decent duration after transference. While the buff isn't perfect protection against all slowing threats, it can provide an easier time navigating if you find yourself frequently caught in too many Follie auras. But you don't need to go straight into the trials of the hunt. On starting the Follie's Hunt mission, I recommend first finding the 3 canvases. While paint spawns over time, each canvas can be found immediately and they are split into 3 zones. Zone C is the ground floor and likely the canvas you'll find first. Check Samaras' room, the navigation chamber, Darvo's room, and Teshin's room up to the top to spot a canvas. Not all rooms will be open every run, reduce the amount of searching you need to do. Zone B and A are on the upper floor. Zone A is the main hall, with canvas spawns either at the top, in the middle, or down the bottom. Zone B is what remains, encompassing the 6 syndicate rooms and the exit corridor that would lead to where we board our landing craft in a normal relay. For all of these, you'd need to get relatively close to the canvas to expose the waypoint for the mission, including navigating most of the way up the path in Teshin's room, or reaching the turn in the exit corridor that snakes around oddly. Once you've found a canvas for a zone, you can move on and skip the remaining rooms for now. By finding all canvases before you begin collecting paint, you avoid enemy spawns and get to use your fastest movement options, all before Follie starts closing off pathways. Once you have your 3 canvases exposed, and may have found a spawn point of some paint, it's time to get painting. Rush to a paint well and step in it to be forced into your operator mode. This can sometimes fail to grab the paint, so make sure you actually get it and aren't just transferred out of your frame. While covered in paint, you lose access to your Warframe and your Void Sling. Instead, run or preferably roll as quickly as possible to the nearest canvas. Often, the canvas in the syndicate rooms can become a bother to access as the mission progresses, so try painting those first. As you progress painting the canvas, Follie will hunt players and send more impeding effects, such as paint walls blocking pathways. This is a big reason for finding the canvases first, as navigating gets tough fast. Solo mode, 2 paint loads are needed per canvas, while in a full squad, this rises to 6 per canvas. If you're particularly adept at navigating the map, you may well find this faster solo. Paint will spawn in the gold bowls littered around the map in fixed spawn points, though not all of them will be around in each mission. If you have your audio on but music off, you will hear the paint before it is visible or marked, which can help you find the right room to raid. Now, while running the mission itself awards a chance at Follie parts and her blueprint, as well as the components for the new weapon, it only rewards a small amount of Attramentum, the mission-specific currency. The main source of this material is from the balloons that only spawn once the hunt begins. If you speedrun the mission without a looting method, you will not get much at all. For this, I recommend bringing a combination of an area damage weapon, like the Tenor Envoy, alongside, curiously enough, the Oxalus companion. Only weapons can damage the balloons, not abilities like a typical crate busting limbo build, yet Oxalus's scan matter precept can also pop the balloons, something that may get declared a bug. By launching AoE attacks in the general direction of where balloons might be, and otherwise focusing on the main mission objective with Oxalus equipped, you can acquire a decent volume of Attramentum with a minimal amount of hassle. In a squad, D are making it so that Attramentum is picked up squad-wide too, so you don't need to retrace your allies' tracks. In combination then, I'm suggesting you use a basic passive shield tank to deny the damaging threats, go and cover the locations on the map before letting the hunt even begin, and then roll around the map as quickly as possible to deliver paint before Follie's threats frustrate you into closing the game. On normal mode, the drop rate for Follie parts on a main blueprint is 5% each. On Steel Path, this climbs to 6% each. Ignoring the shop for a moment, this means an average of 36 normal runs or 30 hard runs to obtain a full Follie set. Follie's individual components can be purchased for Attramentum at 400 per blueprint, or 1,200 for the main blueprint itself. However, I'm going to advise against using that shop early on, at least for the first Follie. The simple reason being there are many other purchases you can make, including the new Tenokai mod for 360 Attramentum, which does not seem to be available as a mission reward. Whether it's cosmetics, weapon pieces, or the mod you're interested in, you'll be doing more runs to get the Attramentum needed anyway, which is more opportunity to get Follie freely via drops. Certainly, when it comes to the blueprint, 1,200 Attramentum is roughly 20 to 30 good runs in itself. That said, if you find yourself in the 1 in 20 players needing over 85 normal mode runs for a full set, or worse, the 1 in 1,000 players needing over 161 runs of pure RNG, then you'll certainly be well funded to just buy Follie instead. This mission has not been a fun one for me. Movement is rather impaired, vision can be excessively obscured, spawns can stack harshly, waypoints can be an outright hindrance, and I feel like I've spent most of this video telling you how to bypass the mechanics, rather than enjoy them. Whether you feel the same as me on this, or if you're finding you enjoy the experience, I hope this gives you the tools and guidance to navigate this new mission effectively. That's all from me on this topic, so as always, be a saint, grab the paint, and fight well, Tano.